So you, and I always think you ought to feel it. I always think artists know. So my thought is, go ahead.
Okay, so it was June of 91, and then by the middle of June, we had finished the record. But the rest of 91 would play out, and meanwhile, the Gulf War, the first Gulf War was kind of wrapping about. I don't know if I told you, it started the day I recorded Sun Gave All. As we were in the studio, the Gulf War, the first shots were fired. And so that thing, I'm going, Sun Gave All needs to come out. It needs to come out. Just let Sun Gave All come out. We'll figure out the rest of it later. But this song is important. I just felt like it was my purpose. And back then, there was T-shirts that had POWMIA in that picture that had a man's face, and Vietnam veterans and so many veterans from so many different wars that became their logo, POWMIA. And to me, it was like this song, Sun Gave All, has to come out now. What happened instead, the whole year of 91 goes by. In the latter part of 91, or early fall, I get fired from the ragtime. And so the whole bubble's bursting. Meanwhile, Mercury's got the record, but they don't really know what they're going to do with it. And 91 becomes 92, and then early 92 in January, we went and made the video for Brady, and that became the plan. But the record itself didn't come out until March, and somewhere around the middle of May, the single went to #1, and then the album debuted at #1 last week of May of 92. So it was a long time after I made the record, over a year.
And are you a patient person or not?
No. I was praying for patience. All those years, the whole decade of the 80s, I'd say, pray for the patience of Job. Pray for the patience of Job. What did Job do? What did he, what did he I don't know, he had a lot of patience when he wrote. And so I would always pray for the patience of Job. But I never had it. I still don't. I still live for the patience of Job.
So this video and then the song, and I mean, people always say this, oh my gosh, you're an overnight sensation, even though you've been doing this for a while, getting ready for this. How does everything change?
You know what, it just, for me it seemed like it just changed because I just kept doing what I've been doing for the last 10 years. I hate to sound so simple about it, but I just stayed that guy, you know. I just stayed the guy that to me I was living the music in those songs, and that I was, I've been following this path toward my purpose. And when it started happening, I just stayed focused on doing what I've done night after night, set after set, song after song. Just do what you do, play your music.
Yeah, but the venues got a lot bigger, a lot more people.
Yeah, it did. You know what, somehow or another though, I did two things. One, I quit drinking. And I did that before the song came out, and I did it because I knew that voice inside said, Cyrus, you ain't gonna be able to keep up with this thing. You've worked for, this is your moment. A man's big chance is only as great as his preparation, and you're gonna be standing there drunk. And you gotta quit drinking now. And I just quit. And that was the best thing ever, the best move I made, because I couldn't have kept up with the rock if I would have still been drinking. And then, that being said, it was like I had previous commitments of little bars and little clubs, and I told my manager, Jack McFadden, that I wanted to honor every commitment I've made. We got to go play. Even if it's 2 shows a night, 3 sets, whatever it is, honor all of our previous commitments, and then take it day by day, step by step. And pretty soon it was, about the time when I got the letter from Johnny Cash. I think that's when it hit me. Something pretty powerful was going on.
Well, I'm glad you brought it up, because I was just about to. In your home, and included in this book, are a copy, and it's by no means a fan letter, but it is this letter of appreciation and more from a guy you must have admired forever.
I love him.
So how do you, well, first off, we'll get to the contents of the letter in a second, which is really compelling. The letter came where?
It came to my manager, Jack McFadden, and he brought it on my tour bus and gave it to me.
And did he say, you're not going to believe this? Or?
It was kind of like he had an envelope and he said, my boy, he always called me my boy. He said, my boy, you got a letter from John Cash. And it was in an envelope. And I got it out and read it. And I stood there thinking, John Cash, this to me. And that was a moment of, again, I loved John Cash, loved his music. And interesting, I didn't really think about it then, but I think about it now. That he was one of those guys that stepped to the forefront and said, hey, I'm not going to have all my eggs in one basket. I'm not just going to, live and die on whether the radio is playing my records or not. And he branched out into television. And, I didn't know at that time what TV and that would mean to me. But looking back at it, he was a pioneer. And he was a pioneer of diversity and bringing so many different styles of music together. And there were no racial lines for Johnny Cash. And during that time of the late 60s, early 70s, that was a very turbulent time racially. And Johnny Cash was man enough to step up front and say, hey, we're all created equal. And he had a great deal of courage, and I always did admire and respect that about John Cash, and the fact that there were no musical lines. It was music, and it didn't have to be this or it didn't have to be that. It was kind of what you feel, and about music and being true to yourself and to your fans. When I met Johnny Cash, he was at a book signing, and George Jones told me to meet John Cash. And that in itself is a crazy story, but George, yeah, it is, thank you. George Jones was at my house and he saw the letter from Johnny Cash hanging on the wall. And he said, have you ever met him? And I said, no, but I always wanted to, because I wanted to thank him for this letter. And George's sidekick's name was Peanut. And he goes, hey, Peanut, ain't Johnny signing books down there today? And Franklin, yeah, he is, George. Next thing I knew, I was in the car with him, and they were driving me to Franklin to go meet Johnny Cash. And Johnny was signing books, and he came up to the side of the stage and shook hands. I thanked him for the letter, and we had a really special moment there. And he turned and he said, these fans, he said, that's what making music's all about. He said, you write songs, you record songs because you believe in them. These people, they're the ones that, they listen to that music. He said, that's what it's all about, some fans. I said, you sure are right about that. He was right. And then June came over and it was like, I met the Queen. I met the King and the Queen on that day. It was royalty. It was absolutely royalty. A real special moment.
But in the letter he wrote you, and I don't know that you can necessarily recite it word for word, he referenced your spiritual life, which impressed him. What did he write in that letter?
And something like, good man. I was recently impressed to see you give God the credit for your success. It's good to be reminded where all goodness comes from. 36 years ago, I worked with my friend Elvis Presley, and you remind me of him. As in your case, as in his, as in Elvis's, he said, because I thought it was neat that he put that on. As in your case, as in Elvis's, the good outweighs the bad. Let him have it. I'm in your corner, Johnny Cash. And the fact that he was in my corner, that meant so much to me. Still does.
Because you have all this success from Achy Breaky Heart, and then on the other hand, you tell me people are like, oh, it's a one-hit wonder, it's a novelty record, it's a joke record, the mullet, Did that stuff hurt your feelings or what?
No, I didn't have nothing. I lived in my car. So I was cool with it. Of course, yeah, Johnny Cash wrote me that letter. Bruce Springsteen played it on stage. Said he didn't give a damn what anybody thought. It was a damn good little rock and roll song. And, Carl Perkins became my best friend. I mean, one of the founding fathers of rock and roll. Carl Perkins became my best friend. Then George Jones, Dolly Parton. I had far friends. I had some really good friends, and every reaction has an opposite reaction, and I understood that. So I'd rather people be passionate. If there's passion, then that's the fire. It's passion, and that's what I was looking for in that music. Again, going back to that Neil Diamond, it was obvious that passion for his music and his fans. Johnny Cash said the same thing. Carl Perkins, the same thing. Do what you do because you love it, not because you have to.
In the book, you write about some of these people, and you write about, you mentioned here just now about Johnny Cash, but how Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers had shown you the one, dilemma of being an artist at the time you became really prominent.